Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event. Fight fans worldwide, you've tuned into the #1 undisputed boxing podcast today. This is the Boxing Breakdown. Now, your heavy-handed, hard-hitting host, Mark Roxey. Welcome everyone to the Boxing Breakdown. It's great to be with you again tonight. Thank the Lord that we have another day together, and I am super excited today. I have a great show for you. Today, I am going to have on the program Bruce Silverglade, the president of Gleasons Gym in New York City. Over the last 30 years, Bruce Silverglade has been busy keeping one of the boxing's grandest traditions alive. He is the driving force behind Gleasons Gym in Brooklyn, a boxing treasure since 1937. One of the last of the New York City's thriving boxing gyms, Gleasons has been the training headquarters for such legends as Jake LaMotta, Muhammad Ali, and Roberto Duran. In all, 131 plus world champions have trained inside the gym's hollow walls. Currently, there are 5 active title holders that work out at Gleasons, as well as a number of contenders and dozens of Golden Gloves champions. And yes, women train at Gleasons as well. There are a handful of world champions that are training there regularly. The Silverglade name has been associated with boxing for over 65 years. Bruce's father, Edward, was one of the founders of the National PAL. He also worked for the National Olympic Committee and was the team manager for the U.S. Olympic team of 1980 and 1984. In 1976, Bruce found himself in the middle of a divorce and sought refuge in boxing. While one marriage was ending, another one was beginning. Silverglade caught the boxing bug and quit his job of 16 years with Sears, Roebuck and Company. He began refereeing and judging amateur bouts. Silverglade basically caught the boxing bug, started judging amateur bouts, but because he liked all the fighters, he learned quickly that he would not be impartial. He wouldn't be a good official. That's when he turned to the administrative side of the sport. From 1980 to 1985, Silverglade held some of the most prominent positions in amateur boxing. He was the president of the Metropolitan Amateur Boxing Federation, a chairman of the National Junior Olympic Committee, and a member of the national selection team. By the early 1980s, Silverglade began devoting his efforts full-time to Gleasons. In 1987, he started running live boxing cards at Gleasons Arena, which was located just 1 block away from the gym. That lasted until 1990, but Silverglade remained involved in the business side of boxing as a matchmaker and a boxing agent. He helped to promote the first world title fight in Russia as IBF Super Cruiserweight champion Al Cole defended his title against Glenn McCrory. He's also made fights for some of the game's top attractions, including Arturo Gatti, Paulie Malignaggi, Yuri Foreman, Mark Breland, and Zab Judah. Bruce was inducted into the New York State Hall of Fame in 2015. Silverglade lives in New York City. He graduated Gettysburg College in 1968 with a degree in economics. He has also held and continues to hold a master's degree in, yes, the sweet science of boxing. For many of us, Bruce, as he is called, is the godfather of boxing. He's a friend. He's an advisor. And he is the person that makes it possible for us all to participate in this sport, many of us. And I am just super delighted to have Bruce Silverglade here with us today. Bruce, what's up? Welcome.
I'm holding on.
Oh my gosh, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Mark. Hi. It's so good to hear from you.
Oh,
it's such a drought since March when I closed from talking to friends and people. And usually that's what I do all day long. I'm on the phone or talking to people in person. So it's unusual to be quiet for such a long time. But I'm healthy and well. And how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Bruce. I am I'm here out in Pennsylvania with my family, and we're, thank God, coronavirus. We haven't really had much close contact with anyone with coronavirus, and we're just blessed to be together. My son's home from college. Everything is good, but you've been on my mind. I've been thinking so much about all the folks at Gleasons and all my comrades in the sport of boxing and the people that I've come to really consider my family. And I've been thinking about you
friends
all.
And family. You're right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. I closed on March 16th by executive order from our governor. And I took a week to clean the gym up and paint it and renovate it a little bit, so it's nice and new when we get the permission to reopen. And then my wife and I came out to Arizona. I have a second home in Tucson, Arizona, and it's much safer here for the two of us. Again, like you just said, I have very little contact, if any, with people that have the virus. So we're just waiting for permission to come home.
Right. And for me, I've watched you for many, many years, many decades. I've watched you at the gym. I mean, you are never in one spot. You're always moving. You're always from one meeting to the next. And so I was thinking, like, oh my gosh, like you're in Tucson. I know it's beautiful there. I know you love, the place because that's why you're there. But I also know, being in the sport of boxing and really needing to be in the gym every day and needing to be around our trainers and fighters and just be together. Yeah. How hard must that be for you?
Well, it's a change to my metabolism. I'm normally in motion, and like you said, going places and meeting people and doing things and talking to people and making arrangements for one event or another event. And then all of a sudden the electric plug was pulled and I'm on quiet. So actually when I first came out here, there was a little of an adjustment, but now I'm busy. I'm busy on the phone and on the computer for a number of hours during the day. There's a lot of things we're trying to do in boxing and get answers for people. And I do quite a business online for selling of merchandise and equipment, so we're still in full swing with that. Then a lot of my trainers are training people by by Zoom or in the park in person and things like that. They have to get in and out of the gym to get their supplies and stuff. So my assistant, June, is just doing a terrific job, and she's on location and lets people in when they have to get in and takes care of the day-to-day activities. But I've been busy. I've been real busy talking to people and been on a lot of conversations like I am with you, and just relaxing. But after I tell you all that, I can't wait to get back. Can't wait to put that key in the door and open up.
And you know what? I've been talking to, some of the trainers that I stay, in contact with regularly, and they are all just itching to get back into the gym. And I know I shout out to June because she does an amazing job over there. And Teresa and Jeanette and Sonia and gosh, the whole team, just everyone, and Roca and a lot of people. I don't know how many people realize, first of all, that, if you are in New York City or you are in the tri-state area, that you can train with these guys, with any of the world champions and any of these world-class trainers. You can do it currently remotely until you guys are ready to open, right?
Oh, absolutely. You call the gym and we'll hook you up with a particular trainer and of your choice if you have one. You can choose a Hector Roca or a Yuri Foreman, Joanne Guzman, anybody that you want. We can hook you up with. One of my most active is Heather Hardy. She's very popular, and a lot of people call to do a Zoom workout with her. But if you have nobody in particular, we have a lot of trainers, and we would certainly get you to work out with a trainer. And I have people from all around the world that have been calling in. I have people from London and Canada and different parts of the United States that have called in. So it's really opened a new venue for me at the gym. I never really was contemplating or doing remote workouts. So that's just actually added a new part to what we'll be doing in the future.
Right. And there are, there's 100, I count about 100 trainers that are available, personal trainers that are, the creme de la creme in the world, right there at Gleasons, and they're available for, for private instruction and stuff. I listen,
sure.
It's a great time. The new norm is that we are inside. It may be that we can get back to the gym. I know that everybody's looking forward to the gym reopening, and I want to talk to you about that. But I also just wanted to first of all, let me ask you about that since we're on that topic. Like, you have plans for opening the gym? Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely. Sure. We're raring to go. I have a fumigating company that's on hold. As soon as I get permission to reopen, 2 days before, they're coming in and they're going to completely desanitize the place and get it just spruced up 100%. So it'll be sanitary for everybody to come in. I've purchased gloves, masks, the hand sanitizers. I have wipes. So we're ready, and we'll have our social distancing. Everyone will wear the mask. We know that we won't let everybody come in and loiter like they have in the past. They're going to have to come in by appointment and get their workout in. But we're raring to go. So I'm waiting for permission from, as I said, from the state. But I'm in contact with the state right now, trying to get an exception for the boxing gym.
Right.
Right now, I'm lumped in as a workout gym, the same as Crunch, New York Sports Club, or a yoga studio, or a bar studio, and I would like to be a separate entity as a professional fight gym. The Governor Cuomo, has allowed professional sports teams to begin training in preparation for competitions at empty stadiums. So the New York Nets, which train and play out of the Barclays Center, are now training for competition at the Barclays Center, and they're allowed to do this.
Wow.
The Barclays Center is 1 mile away from Gleasons Gym. So my emails to the governor, my contacts that I'm trying to get into the government now, are saying that Gleasons Gym is training professional fighters, and the fighters are preparing for competitions, which would also be an audience-free competitions. So if the Nets and the Yankees and the Mets are allowed to train right now, my professional fighters should also be allowed to train.
Absolutely.
And, it's now that wouldn't include white collar boxers. It wouldn't include the businessmen and women that are in the neighborhood that use the gym for a training session. This would be for professional fighters that are preparing for upcoming competitions.
Right.
But when you try to argue with the government or get an answer from the government, it's like pulling teeth. But I'm being persistent. I've gotten a lot of no's, and I keep calling new people and trying to get the ear of the governor. But once I do get his ear, I know he's a very fair person, and he talks on his morning briefings every day about being fair. And so I think it would only be fair to allow professional fighters to train just as professional basketball players and football and baseball players.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm working on things like that.
Well, that lobbying, that work is significant. So I don't envy you on that. And I know that, certainly if professional baseball and football and other sports are able to get back to some semblance of business, and most importantly, the concept and the notion that an athlete, the killer of an athlete is, time off. Like, athletes need to train.
Yeah.
So, they would be, it would be fantastic if the governor could recognize that point and really create that exception for Gleasons and the other fighters in New York.
And he talks about that in his morning briefings, and he's very fair. But one of the problems that he has is that, again, this is something new. It came on him and the rest of us overnight. So he had to make some decisions. They're very broad-reaching decisions, and I'm just saying that his mandate to close the gyms in New York is a broad statement, and there should be some exceptions made. So I'm trying to get an exception made for the professional athletes, and he has already said, listen, we want to get sports back. We want to get baseball back, but they have to have an empty audience. We want to get basketball back, but they have to have an empty audience. Well, boxing will come back also, and it will be studio boxing with TV rights and no audience. So the boxer should not be discriminated against, and he's really no different than any other athlete, whether he's a soccer player or a baseball player or a football player, et cetera. So if I can get to his ear, but that's the hard part. Everybody along the way is just saying, you fall into a category which isn't allowed to be open. I said, well, I know that, but we're looking for the exception. So I'll just keep working on it until I get it done.
And to your point,
I will get it done.
Oh, I know you'll get it done. I have no doubt that you, sir, will get it done. And the thing that's interesting about that is I know that the governor wants boxing back too. I know that he, it's very difficult. We can all understand how difficult it is to just basically one day get up and say, listen, we're closing the city. We're closing the state. It's shut down, and we'll figure it out as we go. And part of the obligation and part of the job that the governor and all of the people that are making the decisions, they're doing a great job. They have to really take these situations and really analyze them one by one. And certainly this is one of many I'm sure they're going to have to address in the coming weeks and months. So I just wish you luck. I think a lot of the listeners that are listening today probably don't know that Gleasons Gym is the oldest running boxing gym in the United States of America, and that fighters like Jake LaMotta, Muhammad Ali, Arturo Gatti, and Mike Tyson, I mean, the list goes on and on of who's trained there, that this is, like, to me, and to many other folks, this is the mecca of boxing. This is where it goes down.
Well, it's a good gym. It has a lot of great trainers and a lot of good people associated with it. And I include you as one of the great people that's associated with the gym. And you're one of my trainers at my fantasy boxing camps. And so you're part of Gleasons.
Thank you so much, Bruce. You know how much that means to me, and I take that serious. I study my craft every day, and I'm looking to do big things to make you guys proud. You know that. Um, and
You always do.
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you. And I wanted to just switch gears a little bit and ask you um, a little bit about some of the programs that you are running at Gleasons. I mean, I find it to be fascinating that you have like an array of programs that you are offering, and it speaks to your commitment not just to the professional fighters and to the white collar fighters that come and they're part of the gym. It's such a beautiful atmosphere, but you have programs like Give a Kid a Dream and just a whole. Give a Kid a Dream is one of my favorite, and you know how much I believe in that program. But you have like an array. I just wonder if you could just chat a little bit about some of the programs that you have.
Well, the Give a Kid a Dream program is my oldest. I started that in 1991. It's a 501c3, and what that means is that it's an approved charity approved by the government. That if you go on to the computer website for the government looking for nonprofits, Gleason's Give a Kid a Dream will come up. All the books are there, all the income is there, the distribution of funds, et cetera. So it's a legitimate organization, and it's for underprivileged boys and girls in the metropolitan area that come from a background that's a tough background, and they have to be referred to the program. They're referred by a parole officer, a clergyman, a school counselor, someone that feels that the kid is in a problem, but that the discipline of boxing can help them. So that's the first thing. Then there has to be a financial need because it's a free program for all these kids that we bring in. We train them in the sport of boxing, the discipline of boxing. They don't have to be fighters. It's not really a recruitment program to look for the next Mike Tyson out there.
Right.
It's a program for the kids that are having some problems. They need the camaraderie. They need the attention. And so it's a free program, but we use boxing as the discipline for it. There's a mandatory tutoring program that they have to be in, so we monitor their schoolwork as well. And there's the summer. We bring them to summer camps. We bring them to all kind of different functions, and it's been a very, very successful program for many years now. We get a lot of these kids that were borderline, and we get not only high school diplomas, but we get a number of them into college with college degrees. So it's been a very successful program. I have also a very fun program, one that I like very much for individuals that have Parkinson's disease.
Right.
We started a program out of Gleasons about 6 years ago. I was approached by a couple doctors, and we started a program for people with Parkinson's disease. And apparently, the part of the brain that is affected by Parkinson's disease is the same part of the brain that people use in boxing for the emotions, the shouting, the movement. But again, it gives a lot of the people self-confidence, and they feel much, much better about themselves. Now, Parkinson's disease, once you have it, is not something that you can get over. You have it for the rest of your life.
Right.
However, you can arrest the progression of the disease, and you can slow it down, and you can fight back. So people that get this disease are usually a little bit older. They've been successful individuals their whole life, and now they have this affliction. And instead of sitting on the couch and saying, woe is me, and I have to sit here until I die.
That's right.
We teach them, they can fight back. They can actually, do something for themselves. And it's a very, very rewarding program. Then I have one, for veterans. We have a program for veterans. Now, I was approached by the Veterans Administration, Veterans Hospital in Manhattan on 2nd Avenue. And they came to me several years ago and wanted to know whether they could have an outreach program where these veterans could come and again, use the discipline of boxing and the sport and outlet. So we said yes for this program, and that's become extremely successful. So the vets get a free membership into the gym and free training. Let's see.
Wow.
We started one. We were just in the infant stages on one with kids with autism. And we think that the autism program will follow in the footsteps of the Parkinson's program and allow these kids to come in and have the discipline. So we're just getting started on that.
Amazing.
Then, wait, hold on one second. My wife just pointed out to me, I forgot, we just started a self-defense Krav Maga program because prior to this virus problem, we were starting to have a lot of anti-Semitism and problems in the New York area where people were getting beat up. So we've opened it up to the communities that are being affected by these hate crimes, and we're giving Krav Maga and self-defense to individuals of all ages and sizes, and it's been a very, very successful program. We started as an experiment just with individual classes, and now we have actual courses that go for 10 weeks at a time. And so these are some of the other programs other than normal fighters coming in, and training. But
and that's what
we do a lot of. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just going to say that's what struck me. Beyond the gym being an absolutely amazing place, for fighters, it's also such a community. It's like a community beacon, and it's a place really you found a way to bring boxing to every corner of the city and the world. And really, like, when you think about the mission of an organization that's community based, that has a base that's recognized in its community, you've really made it such a welcoming place for just everybody. And you didn't mention the Fight for Life, I think it is, that program I find to be really interesting.
Yeah, the SATO program. Well, that's SATO. They have their national or international headquarters located at Gleasons Gym, but it's not really one of my programs.
Okay.
They have rented office space out of Gleasons. The young lady, Chris Beckles, who started the program, was a Golden Glove champion out of Gleasons, and she trained there with her husband for a number of years. And then she started this wonderful program called SATO. It's to save stray dogs and homeless dogs out of Puerto Rico.
Wow.
There's a beach in Puerto Rico where people dump these stray dogs, and people then abuse them and take advantage of them and shoot them and do all kinds of things. So when Chrissy found out about this, she decided to start her program to save these dogs, and she's actually saved thousands at this point, and she has a number of people that help her, and it's just a terrific organization, and their headquarters are located at Gleasons in one of our offices, but I can't say that it's a Gleasons program, but it's something that I'm very proud of, and when a number of people come in, particularly visitors and dignitaries, it's one of the offices that I show off.
Wow.
It's really a terrific program.
Right. And you have, I can't not mention, my trainer and just a real amazing mentor to me, as you know, for many, many years, Hector Roca, Papa Roca. And I just shout out to him, and I wondered how he's doing. Have you heard from him?
Hector's, yes, sure. I stay in constant contact with many of my trainers, but Hector in particular. Hector's basically staying home and away from any virus, but he's been training some people in our park, close to the gym, and he's doing very well. Hector is my oldest, not age-wise, but oldest trainer currently at the gym. He's been with the gym for over 40 years.
Oh.
And he came up as came into New York as a cyclist. He was on the Olympic team for Panama twice as a cyclist. And then when he came into New York, he's bumming around and working out. Came into Gleasons Gym and started as a trainer there. And his father and his brother were boxers, so that was one of the reasons why he went into a boxing gym. And he never left. And now he's become a very, very renowned trainer. He's trained 26 world champions, a number of actors and actresses for movie and Broadway parts. He was ranked the number one Spanish trainer in the world for a number of years. Mm-hmm. And he's just a great guy. And as you know, he's a great guy and he's a great trainer. And what we were mentioning earlier, that a person can come in from anywhere around the world and train with a Hector Roca, someone that's quite renowned around the world. You can come in and get an hour session with him like anyone else.
Right, or Heather Hardy, for that matter, WBC, former world champion.
Sure.
To be able to
Heather is the most popular of my trainers right at the moment. Everyone loves Heather. She's got a tremendous media following and a social media following as well. She's great personality, good looking, a good boxer, and she can give you a lesson. Come in, anybody, if you're visiting from anywhere around the world, around the United States, or if you're living in New York and you just want to stop in and get a lesson at Gleasons, she would also be available.
Yeah, and there's just, look, if anyone out there, any of the listeners out there wanna check out the array of talent that's at Gleasons, all you got to do is go to the website, which is gleasonsgym.com, and you can check out all those amazing trainers. Like, the list is incredible. It's vast. The knowledge in that space, you walk in and it bleeds down the walls. It's incredible. And I'm just so glad that you're doing well and your wife is doing well.
My wife is doing very well. She's a painter and an artist, and she has a gallery out here as well as in New York, or a studio, I should say, here, where she's able to continue what she loves to do best, which is the painting. And she's terrific. And if anybody wants to see her work, they can either go to my website and look at her work, or they can follow her herself. It's Joellen Van Allerkirk, and she's a tremendous artist.
Wow!
Go look at her work.
Oh yeah, yep, I can attest to that. So I just I want to wish you, all the happiness and health, and I really am praying for you and the folks at the gym every day. I hope that everybody stays safe and well. And all those fighters from Gleasons, you know who you are. Make sure you are in shape, because the gym will be opening soon, and it'll be time to get back to work.
Absolutely. We're ready to open the door the minute that we get the word. As soon as it comes off the press from Albany, as soon as it gets to my ears, the key will be in the door and we'll be open.
Wow.
And we'll let the world know. We'll have announcements everywhere. But thank you so much for the opportunity for telling this and for having me on air. I appreciate it very much.
Bruce, you mean the world to me. I love you, and I really am going to be thinking about you. If you need anything, you know where to call. You call the Boxing Breakdown. You call Mark Roxey. I'll be there for you. And with that, I want to thank you for being on the program. I hope the listeners have enjoyed listening to Bruce Silverglade. And with that, I'm going to say peace and love.
Good night.
Good night, and I'll see you.
Peace and love.
That's right. I'll see you next time on the Boxing Breakdown.
Right. Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Bruce.
Fight fans, join host Mark Roxey and special guests as they break down all aspects of the boxing world, including news, business, management, training, promotions, fan reactions, upcoming events, matchups, future boxing stars, title fights, state of the boxing world, and all the stuff you don't see when you watch boxing. This podcast is released each week on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Live streamed on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook Live. It's the Boxing Breakdown, hosted by Mark Roxey.